Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where last episode we won the wars against Garamantia and against India over here, and I still don't understand why they thought it was a good idea, to be honest. It's very strange. I wouldn't mind coming over to these guys and, like, diplo-annexing them. What do we got going on over here? Demand tribal vassal status. They have 144 reasons to not do this. Okay, we should improve opinion with them at any rate. So this will be able to come up a fair amount. They're angry about our aggressive expansion, but that will, you know, go away. So we'll improve opinion here. We're quite high on the aggressive expansion, so we should definitely chill for a little bit. There's no doubt about that. We've got this army on the way up over here, and that looks great. Now, I do want to take a look at what we've got going on here. Okay, so we can definitely expand the Mahanid of Canaan quite a lot. And Arabia. Okay, we can expand all of these a tremendous amount. We should probably think about doing so. So this is our current standard army setup right now. And that is absolutely fine. But if we looked at, say, these guys over here, yeah, this is actually approaching the standard that I want to set. So what we want to do here is we want to do this and this. We don't have the right laws to be able to recruit legions. What? Uh-huh. Well then. Back to Royal Army we go. I'm not sure when that happened, but okay. Exciting. Well, that was very odd. And now these have shrunk considerably, and that makes a certain amount of sense. So that's fine. That means that, like, this army can definitely be expanded. That is Upper Nubia. And we currently have 5 heavy cavalry here. We cannot no, we could put in camels. So let's put in 5 units of camel. Let's then put in 5 units of supply train and 5 units of siege engineers. So that's going to be 15. So that puts us up to 50, and then we can get another 25 in total as part of our core troops, right? So that means we could do 12 and 12, like that. Okay, so that's fine. Mesopotamia is going to need some work. This is fine. This is fine. This is approximately fine. We could slightly upgrade this. But they're not standing in a territory that we both own and control. Okay, and then, of course, we've got Canaan. And this we should pretty heavily upgrade. So we can't put any additional camels in here, but we can do 4 additional units of cavalry, 4 additional units of supply train, and 4 additional units of siege engineer. Okay, and then we can do 12. So this is going to be something along the lines of 6 and 6. There we go. So that'll be fine. Now, we've got Arabia here. That'll be okay for the moment. I definitely want to enlarge these somewhat later on, but for now, this will be okay. So there we go. We'll get this guy in place here, and these are heading up over to here. Of course, we want them to start doing road build up in this new territory. A question of confidence. Oh my. Okay. Well, let's see what we've got going on here. We've got... The answer is Ramna. So Ramna is down over this direction, in this new territory here. Okay. So that's understood. We produce wood here. Wonderful. So let's just make that be a production city. There we go. That'll do. Slave estate going in here. And this is not colonized, nor is this. Nor... this is. We just have a fortress there. Let's put in a logging camp. We have a number of constructions going here. This has a mine. That looks good. And then this up here is a really, really good place for a fort. I'm going to upgrade this like so. Then we want to have production here. So no library, no academy. The forum is okay, I suppose, as is the Great Temple. I don't really care about these guys' opinion of us. Sure, that'll be fine. So let's put in a foundry and then a mill, just like that. And we'll come back to that a little bit later on. So that seems excellent. How are we doing on our pathing up over here? We're not quite there yet. Okay, so next up is going to be Mockley. And let's see where that is. Ah, this is a new location down over here as well. So this is still a very good place to have fortresses. So let's do an earthworks. Let's get rid of the port and put in 3 fortresses here. Beyond that, we want to get rid of the academy. The Great Temple is useful here, at least for the moment. The farmer's market is probably fine as well. Let's get rid of the noble district and let's put in a couple of mills. Otherwise, we're going to have to grow into this. Okay, so here we're going to do production. We're net negative on food over here, so I am going to put in a farmer's market. That'll eat up one of these building slots, but that's fine. We're also putting in a farming settlement right here, so that should be fine. And let's take 6 stability. Excellent. Gemstones? Okay, this is absolutely wonderful. So we'll just do something like that. Okay, this city here is going to be production. We can get rid of a lot of these structures. The Grand Theater is useful, as is the farmer's market, but not anything else. So that would be something about like that. This is a lot of provinces here. Or rather, a lot of cities in this province. Okay, so this is tortoise shells. We'll get rid of the port, but we cannot build a slave estate because we lack money. So we will come back to this. But for now, we do need a governor up over here. In oratory advance, okay, that's neat. In our civic advances, I would like to get the horse mill. National slave output plus 4% is going to be huge. So we're going to take that. That'll be fantastic. Okay, these guys have arrived here. They can exit Force March, and they're going to go on to build road. So there are some roads here already in a kind of awkward setup. Okay, but we'll just come down something like this and build some external roads. So that would be like so. And while we're up here, we should probably build some roads in our vassal. So that's understood. This road here is fine, actually. And I kind of just want to take a road out this way, like this, and then connect in something like that. Then out over here, a connection like that and that should do the trick. Okay, that's all we should need up over here. But I want to continue to work in our vassal here for quite a while. So we're going to need to build a fair amount of road up through here, about like that. And then a road down here, like that. Because I want to be able to get around in our vassal, right? So it would be something along the lines of this, and then come down like so. This would then come down over here. And I'm thinking that we would come down somewhere like this. And this is also our vassal here. So we can connect this all into our road network. This would then come down something like that. And then we'd have this out over here, which would, of course, connect in like that. Okay, then we would come down over this direction, make sure there's a connection here, build all along this coast. And then from there, I'm thinking we would build a connection like that or so. Okay, so there's stuff over here that isn't correctly showing, but that will relatively do the trick. Then we can continue to build all along this coastline, connect that into our road network, build this up over like that, and that should do the trick. Okay, so this is going to take a while to build that road, but that's understood. Okay, so that looks good for now. Let's head back over to Mackley because we know that we've got some work to do out over here, right? So this is currently a fortress. We can get rid of that. That's not necessary. And this would instead be a farming settlement. This I'm going to have be a slave estate. And then this is a city here. So that's going to take a little bit. Let's see what else we've got up here. So hunting camp is fine. This would be a slave estate. That seems okay. And this is a city here. We already have 2 forums. I guess that's fine. We can build something like this. There we go. And then Asia needs a governor, which would be this guy. Minister of Excellence. Yes, we are going to take that 10% national tax modifier. Thank you very much. And then we've got one location left to do here, and that's this city. So we're going to put in a foundry. We're going to do 3 mills, but then we're going to need some gold. I'm actually going to cancel this mill just in case. We'll redo that. Evangelism? Very rude. Okay, waiting for that month tick. And there it is. So we're going to get some slave traders going here, and then a pair of taverns. That should be okay. So there we go. These guys are going to continue doing road build for a while, as are these. So that all seems fine. Britannia is attacking Garamantia now. Hilarious. And that seems okay. So are these guys taking attrition here? Probably. Yes, they are. So we should move them up to, like, here. Okay, what else do we have here? These guys are taking attrition. They should not be on force march. They should instead be sitting about here. Okay, and then these guys are taking attrition. They should be sitting somewhere like... There's got to be a location here they can sit. Yeah, here. And then these guys can go into port over here for now. And then we've got this army. They are taking attrition here, and where can they go? Here? Looks good. So that seems absolutely fine for right now. Now we can see that these guys are ready to drill. And these guys are ready to drill. And ready to drill here. These are now ready to drill as well. And this one. And then we've just got our 2 road building armies. So all looks good there. We're down to 53 aggressive expansion. That's continuing to drop. We do need a new governor up here. This should be a Herconid, so that would be like this guy. Okay, cool. So that's fantastic. Now, what's the next location that we would want to work on? That would be Thermos. Where are you at, Thermos? Right up over here. Excellent. So that would be this state. This is absolutely going to be a production city. We would do something like this. There we go. And what do we got down here? Slave estate. Looks fine. Farming settlement. That's great. Okay, this is definitely a production location. Let's put in 3 forums and a Freeman district. Over here, this is also definitely production. I don't think we need this great temple anymore. Let's get rid of that. And let's put in 2 forums and 2 Freeman districts. That looks good. This is also production. Looks fine for the moment. And a farming settlement there. That looks excellent. Out this direction, that's a farming settlement, and this is production. Okay, so something along the lines of that. Perfect. So that'll do, and let's check in on how we're doing on this road build. We've got a ways to go. I suppose that's not surprising. More followers of the Risen Lord. How very rude. How long until Olby's integrated, anyway? The answer is it's going to be a while. Okay. Now, we could also start working on integrating some of these. So let's see what's going on with Zaba. We'll need a little bit more opinion with them. I think we just send a gift, to be honest. That'll be cheaper. And what's going on with Utica? They're a little bit more upset. We should continue to improve relations with them. How about Macedon? Okay, they're still very upset as well. We're not going to be able to integrate Macedon and Utica anytime soon, but Zaba? Zaba, we can start integration immediately. So we're going to do that. Perfect. How many overall subjects do we have? Yeah, it's just these. So Olby and Zaba are being integrated, and then Utica and Macedon we need to get opinion with. So that'll be absolutely fine. Did I just leave that... Did I just leave that on? Hang on. No. Okay. Perfect. No, we're not going to spend 2,000 gold on that. We've got much more important things to spend our money on. So we need a governor of Lower Egypt. That'll be this guy. Perfect. And we got a bountiful harvest. We're going to take the money. Thank you very much. That's a lot of money. So we're delighted to have that. We've got Kopan that we would definitely be working on next. So that is this state here. Perfect. Precious metals. Well, we know exactly what to do with that. That's absolutely going to be a production location. This is fine. That's a blacksmith. Okay, slave estate here. This is currently set up very awkwardly as a quasi-research location. We're going to change that around. Okay, something like that. We know that these were good, right? Yes, that's correct. Farming settlement here, that looks good. Slave estate is fine. Slave estate is okay here and here. This I'm going to change from a town commons over to a slave estate. And slave estate here is fine. Farming settlement is good. And then here, awkwardness ensues. Let's get rid of the commercial district. Let's get rid of the noble district. Let's get rid of the aqueduct for now and the citizen district. And we'll just put in some mills here. Granary is being raided. I'm sure this guy can cover it. It'll be okay. So we're going to get a pair of slave traders and a pair of taverns here, and otherwise that looks good. So that is this location completed. Anywhere we can colonize? Yes, actually. Right out over here. Beautiful. Do it. Okay, next up is going to be Sharam. So Sharam is right out over this direction. Okay, so that is this state. Sounds good. So here we don't need these courts of law. We're going to do production here. There's only one pop here. Hilarious. Okay, so we're going to do something like that. This is definitely production, but we've also got a smattering of other buildings here that don't need to exist. So we're going to get rid of a lot of these. We'll put in some mills and some slave traders and some taverns. There we go. That'll do fine. We do not need this grand theater, though, so let's get rid of that. This then produces incense, so that's okay. Mine is good. Mine is good. Slave estate is fine here. Yep, that all looks okay. This is a production city producing grain, so let's put in a Freeman district there. And otherwise, this all looks good. Not too much to be done there. Excellent. Next would be Ariaspi. So that is right out over here. Okay, first things first. Do we need this fort here? I'm going to make the argument that we do not. However, well, we've got this fort here, but it's a little bit awkwardly located. This is a city. This is a better place for the fort. I'm going to do that, and we're going to get rid of these. Lapis lazuli. Oh, my. Okay, so where were we? We were down here. I was making the argument that we don't need this fort. So we're going to get rid of that, and this is, of course, going to be production. So slave traders, taverns, and forums will be absolutely fine. Now, down the rest of this way here, slave estate is good. This is going to be production, so we can do something like this. This is also going to be production. We don't really have the culture out here to make any of these be research. So all of them are going to end up being production. That's just the way it is. So we're going to do this. Farming settlement looks good. Grand theater is fine. And we'll just get all of these converted right on over. There we go. Farming settlement, and slave estate. That all looks good. Here, of course, we're going to need to... Actually, I probably shouldn't have gotten rid of that tax office. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so something like this. We're going to need some mills, we're going to need some slave traders, and some taverns, and a forum. Okay, so there we go. There's that state completed. Next up is going to be Shetra. Or rather, Cetra. Okay, China's having issues. That's fine. So that's this location right here. This should absolutely be a fortress location. So we're going to do something like that, and then beyond that, food is potentially a concern here. I'm going to put in a farmer's market, and from there, we'll do a foundry, mills, and that's all we can put in for now. So that'll be fine. What else do we have? Just checking our rural. Nothing too major there. Next up is Sether. So Sether is down over here. I don't think we need this fort. I'm going to immediately get rid of that. And this is, of course, going to be a production location. So we're going to put in a foundry. We're going to put in some mills. A minor addendum. That's great. We're definitely going to take some extra stability. Okay, that guy died in a freak accident. That's fine. So next up, we're going to put in some slave traders. We're going to put in some taverns and some forums. Now, we've got a city here. This one is already pretty well set up. So we're going to put in 3 forums, and then we're going to put in a freeman district. Here, we are interested in quite a number of things, actually. This is a weird setup right now. A great temple is good, but beyond that, that's going to be spicy. We're going to need some additional money, of course. And let's call down Esther quick. Excellent. So there's that sweet, sweet unintegrated culture group happiness. And we need a Zadoki out over this direction. Otherwise, we're going to have some problems. So let's put this guy in. Still David and Zadoki, huh? Okay. Well, that's fine. Let's head back to Sether out over here. And we know we were working in here. So we're going to put in a mill, and beyond that, we need a tavern. Okay, what else do we have going on here? So slave estate looks good here as well. This should be a slave estate. Slave estate is fine. Sure, this guy can join our family. That's okay. Ooh, precious metal production. That's phenomenal. So in that case, of course, we're going to go for slave traders and taverns here. Excellent. Farming settlement here is good. Slave estate and farming settlement. Okay. So that all seems fine for now. I want to check in on how this guy is doing. Okay, he's still building, and it's going to take him a while. Let's check in on this force up over here. They're still building, and it's going to take them a while, too. So that's definitely going to be a thing. So we need a Zadoki to be our Rob Shumrim here, and this is probably going to be not a very qualified Rob Shumrim, but there we go. That's fine. Okay, so the next location is going to be Murzuk. No, that's a U. Murzuk. Not Zug, Zuck. There we go. So that's right down over here. Okay. Didn't we already do this line? I thought we did. That's a farming settlement. That's a farming settlement. That's a farming settlement. Yeah. This is already set up, but it does need a few additional expansions. So that's understood. So here we would definitely put in a tavern, and then that would be a forum. Here we would be interested in putting in a forum, and then a freeman district, like that. Here, of course, we need quite a few things. So that's going to end up being a pair of slave traders and 3 taverns. There we go. As well as 2 forums and a freeman district. Okay, so there we go. That's good to go. Upper Nubia needs a governor. That would be this guy. And to be honest, we really don't need the forts that are down here. We really don't need these forts. So I'm going to get rid of this fort, and we might as well do some work here. This looks like a research location. Who is this guy? He was a minor character? Okay, sure. We had a poor harvest. That's unfortunate. We'll raise the price of grain. I'm sure it'll be absolutely wonderful. And let's put in a court of law and an academy. Let's put in a couple of libraries. So up over here, I want to get rid of this fortress. And what do we want to put in here? Well, this is also a research location. There we go. And then down over here, this is a production location. So we would want to put in some freeman districts. Something like that. These forts are very, very unnecessary, right? And they're somewhat expensive. So that's understood. We're going to need to get a lot of these taken care of, right? So there's like a location here. But these would come up in the list primarily. Well, this one wouldn't. We get rid of that fortress, and we get that mine in there, for sure. Similarly here, this would not come up in the list with our current technique. So we would need to get rid of that, and instead put in a farming settlement. What about this down here? This one would eventually come up in the list, but it would take a very long time. No doubt about that. So we've got a fort down over here that I wouldn't mind getting rid of, and this is mostly, it's feeling like this is intended to be a research city. but also a production city. Okay. Well, let's just do something like this for now. There we go. And then we'd be able to put in some tax offices. Let's just wait for the month tick on that. So we'll get that going momentarily here. There we go. That'll be fine. Now we've got this out over here. We can get rid of this fortress as well. None of these fortresses are at all useful to us in any meaningful way. They are just a drain on our resources. So we definitely want to get that dealt with. It is, however, about time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to possibly... I just noticed these noble districts. We're possibly going to continue to work on some of the situations that we've got going on out over here. Our main issue is financial, right? We need to do a lot of work on a lot of places. That's for sure. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGard, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.